Last video for the day, at least for the time being. So with Logan coming out in about 2 weeks now, yeah, 2 weeks from, well, for me it'd be 2 weeks from today because of pre-screenings. But yeah, 2 weeks from there. For superhero for next two superhero videos, and next week will be a Star Wars, but then the day of will be a Logan one or a Wolverine or superhero one. I figure why don't we just dedicate these two next superhero videos I do to Wolverine, to something to do with Wolverine. So in this video, we're going to talk about if X-23, the current Wolverine, is she actually superior to Logan, James Howlett, the original Wolverine? Is she the superior Wolverine? Now, I believe they actually had an interaction after Logan died where Laura Linney was, Laura Kinney. Laura Linney's an actress. Laura Kinney was out cold, like kind of like, in a kind of near death state. And Logan was talking to her, and he's like, I'm sorry you had to be cloned for it. Let's show him what the Wolverine can do and all that stuff. So giving his blessing to pass in the mantle. So you could make an argument in that sense that Wolverine thinks she's the better version. But let's actually break it down. I mean, let's break it down from like the actual character themselves, what they're capable of, and see who comes out on top. Now, if you're talking about the physicality of the character, Laura is definitely, or X-23, we'll just call her X-23, because I got in trouble for Laura Croft. It's Laura Croft. Whatever. Laura is definitely or X-23 is definitely the more agile of the two. That's just a given. Because I do believe she only has the adamantium in her hands and in her foot, basically on her claws. I don't believe she actually has an adamantium skeleton, as far as I know. So she has the added benefit of not being weighed down by an adamantium skeleton. She's agile, she's flexible, she's just overall faster than Logan is. But Logan is the more durable of the two. Logan had a full body of adamantium, a full skeleton. So he was more or less nigh indestructible with his healing factor and skeleton combined. Plus, he's just physically stronger, being twice, well, maybe not twice, right, because he's a short guy, but he's taller than her. He's clearly just physically the more durable and stronger of the two. So in a physical contest, you could call it a wash, but I would actually give the edge more to X-23 because oftentimes speed beats power. Now, that being said, because she's not theoretically as strong as Wolverine, can't put as much force into her cuts. Granted, she's got adamantium claws that are sharp as hell, so she doesn't necessarily need to. But if you've got more force and more power, you can, in theory, cut through anything. So, in terms of the raw force, I give it to Wolverine. But in terms of I give it to Logan. In terms of the speed and agility, I give it to X-23. And if you're going to ask me which I think is superior, I actually give it to X-23 in that regard. But where she's got, in terms of physical advantage in that, I do believe Logan's healing factor was stronger than X-23's. I do believe that. One, because when they cloned X-23, the DNA was damaged, hence why X-23 came out as a girl, not a man. Now, that's not to say her healing factor isn't strong. She survived things like she survived bomb blast, having her skin blown off. But I think Logan's was just more resilient and more, was just stronger overall than X-23's. He survived, I think, far more intense things. He survived having his entire body blown away, skin, organs, all that blown away, but because his brain was still encased in adamantium, he regenerated. That's not something I think X-23 has ever done. Plus, she's got no adamantium protector skeleton. If that happened with Nitro, with her and Nitro, she'd be dead. She wouldn't have that benefit of, the adamantium skeleton. That's where Logan actually got the advantage in that. So I think Logan's healing factor is stronger. Also, they both have Berserker Rage, but the difference between Logan's and X-23's is that Logan's was drilled into him through years of psychological abuse and conditioning, and it still comes out as a feral rage whenever he's super angry, super injured, anything like that. X-23's, from what I understand, is a scent trigger. It's when they give her a pheromone, she will go berserk on her opponent. And that's where Wolverine has the upper hand on her, and that is that it takes a lot to bring him to his feral rage. You need to get him to that feral rage, whereas X-23 just need to, it's like smelling salt her, and she'll just go berserk. She doesn't have control over that, whereas Logan can suppress that. Now, don't get me wrong. I haven't read an X-23 comic recently, or Wolverine as it is now. So I don't know if she's learned to control that at all. But if it's a scent trigger, even if she has learned some level of control, the fact that you can just a smell can trigger her, as opposed to Wolverine needing to be built up to that point, gives Wolverine the edge in that regard. But after that, you gotta look at their actual martial skill. I would say Wolverine has the edge in overall martial skill just because he had time to learn more martial arts. But I'd say X-23 is the more cunning of the two. Definitely, she's more quick on the fly than he is. Like I think in one comic, she confronted him and she cut him. And he's like, this ain't gonna heal. It's like, why ain't it healing? And she's digging dirt. She's actually putting dirt in the wound to keep the wound from sealing up. He's like, you're bleeding me out, you little, you clever little minx, or something. I don't know what he said. It's like, you clever little brat, you're bleeding me out. So she's more cunning, but just has better martial skill. He's a samurai, for God's sake. She's not. And then you get into the actual personality of the two. And this is where the concept of superior takes a very loose meaning. And when I say loose, it's kind of my opinion. Who's the more superior in terms of their mentality? On one hand, you can say it's X-23 for recognizing the faults of the original Wolverine and trying to improve on that and trying not to just kill randomly like Wolverine had a tendency to do on occasions. But you could also argue the point that Wolverine is superior because he recognized that flaw in himself. He spent his entire life trying to cage the animal, trying to just be a good person and do what's right. But, and the old enemies would come back and bring him back in. Just when you think he's out, they keep pulling him back in. They would keep messing with him and things along those lines. He suffered a life where, while X-23 might berate him for some of his choices, he didn't have much choices going into there. He was a victim from the start, and he tried to make the best as he could from all that happened to him. And for what it was worth, he had a very, very good life, a very strong life, and a very purposeful life, where he did the best that he could with what God and man had dealt him. So in the long run, I'd say that in terms of a combatant, but in terms of an overall successor, sure, X-23 is the perfect successor to Wolverine because she knows where she can improve on the Wolverine. But if you're going to ask me who I think is superior based on kind of what we know of the characters, I am going to say Logan was a superior Wolverine. And I say that because we haven't seen, first off, X-23 Wolverine fully realize she needs to know how to improve upon what Wolverine did. She's doing it one step at a time. But Logan already knew his faults and did the best he could. He failed, but he's human. Humans fail. And yet he recognized his failures and still tried to rise above them. In many cases, did rise above them. And hence why his death was so closing and so, what's the best way to say it? His death was deserving. It was a death he didn't deserve to die, but it was the kind of death that he deserved. He died a hero. He died saving individuals. He died doing something right. And in the end, I mean, the Wolverine is a beast, no doubt, but the Wolverine that we come to realize is also supposed to be a hero. And that's what Wolverine in the end was. He saved lives. He protected people. He fought against evil. And he died doing it. Now, eventually he's going to come back because it's comics and no one stays dead in comics forever. Granted, he's been dead for quite a couple of years now, so I'm impressed they've kept him dead this long. Plus, we have the Old Man Logan we have Old Man Logan from the Old Man Logan universe in the current Marvel continuity due to time shenanigans. So we have that Logan currently. It'd be cool to see those two talk to each other. But if you're going to ask me, I think that the original Logan, or original Wolverine, was the superior Wolverine, simply because of everything he went through and everything he rose to become. Plus, when you actually look at, X-23 had speed. Logan had the actual overall martial skill, physical strength, and just overall durability the and adamantium skeleton that helped him with that, and healing factor that helped him, I think, be a better version of Laura, X-23. Don't get me wrong. There are scenarios where X-23 beat Wolverine. I'm not arguing that point. But there's moments where I know he beat her. So and also it's not like Logan wanted to fight her either most of the time. It's just he gets stuck in situations where crap, I have to fight you. So sucks, but you do what you got to do sometimes. But anyway, that's my thoughts on who's the superior Wolverine. And if you want my answer, I think it was Logan was the superior Wolverine. But give it time, and maybe X-23 could rise to become the superior version as well. But for right now, I say it was Logan. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, if you want us to review something, put in the comments below. Let us know. We'll do a review of it at some point. A few ideas for what ifs, who would win, superheroes, Star Wars, magic videos, and anything in between. Please let me know. I put those in the comments below. I get to them. I do. It saves me time from writing stuff down. It gives me more stuff to talk about on the channel. And yeah, tonight's going to be The Great Wall. Kind of looking forward to it just for kind of like a bad B movie kind of thing. Kind of like a fun bad B movie. So it should be fun. And I just realized too, yeah, Logan really is only like 2 weeks away. I am so looking forward to Logan. I don't do like top 10 most anticipated films videos, but that probably would have been on my top 10 of most anticipated films. I hope to God it's a great movie, and I hope to God it's actually not Hugh Jackman's last. I mean, if it is, great. You've done it 17 years now. Not going to fault you for it. But from everything we're kind of hitting at, it looks like he might make one exception for Deadpool 2. So get ready for that. I think it's going to be awesome. But anyway, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I will see you folks next time. Have a good night.